We're TPKhaos. I'm Billy. We got over here Matt, William, Caleb, and Zion.
Hi.
We are going to talk about what we want to see in the new edition for monsters. So everybody roll initiative. Nice.
11.
13.
10.
17.
So
Almost last.
1, 2, 3, 4. What'd you get? 10? 10. All right.
One
so
better.
1, 2,
One better.
3, 4.
Yep. All right.
All right. What do you got? Hey, what do you want to see for monsters in the new edition?
Bugs, insects, arachnids, anything that is very insectile, because I personally love that. And they're underutilized. It's a subcategory that's not used properly or enough throughout the history of D&D. And thrycrenes and what's the other one? The
Anchorid.
Umber Hulks are the two big ones that people
you have the
know.
Anchorid too, the one that likes to burrow.
The Ankheg, yeah, that's right. But like it's
there's
those
three.
three, and then you can't think of
There's
anything
also,
else,
like,
and they're
what
not
was this guy?
amazing.
Half spider people.
the
That is not an
driders.
insect,
But like it,
technically.
I think that's an insect, isn't it? That's like an insect
No,
monster.
it's not.
What is the
It's
name
a
of
carrion
that?
crawler.
Carrion crawler is not.
crawlers.
The carrion crawler is not quite the same. It's more of an.
it's insectile, but it's
The
not like
worm.
considered an insect. I
No,
don't think.
it's not. It's not an insect, but, or at least I wouldn't classify it as that. But it's a subclass of creature that just never gets used, and I would really love to see insectoid, even if it's just thrown together like goblinoids. Goblinoid technically isn't a term.
At a giant blood-sucking
cat.
tank.
Don't kill my baby cat.
That'd be kind of cool.
That
Ooh.
would.
I personally would also
Everyone
like to see a
hates
playable
Go on
race,
to
but
So, would you have like flying creatures?
I would
burrowing,
add
all
like
the above, so you could have a bunch of different
everything.
skills and abilities to throw
giant
on like a
flies,
whole.
giant like
Is it be a
bees.
unified culture, or is you talking about just like?
I mean,
bugs
it
in
could be
general,
either. I feel like maybe
Yes, because what I want is the Cazadors from Fallout coming after me in D&D. That's exactly what I want.
giant.
I do. I mean, I created an entire I homebrewed a whole bunch because I just didn't have enough for a campaign that I ran, but I don't know,
Yeah.
like getting to see some of those, like a mantis. I have never heard of a mantis enemy in Dungeons and Dragons. That would be cool.
And everything they do have is real simplified, like giant centipede.
Mhm.
You know, like just make it real big, like give it like abilities and.
Or a swarm
Yeah.
of locusts. That's like, that's not
They
interesting. It's
do
literally
have
just
blood bugs. Blood bugs come in a swarm, but they're not insects. They're like parasites.
Yeah, it's
I can
Oh.
dig that. So, what would you say you'd want to see for monsters?
I'd like to see a rework for the Tarask. I think it is very, very underwhelming.
I can
in
totally
5th
see that.
Yeah.
Anybody that knows about the Tarask, like, you know, you can pretty much 1 or 2 turns and take it out.
Yeah, like
Especially
we
for
have
characters
somebody
around
at the
that
table
level.
that has completely one-manned the whole thing. Granted, we were level 20, but it was a one level 20 character.
And
like, this is
granted,
supposed to be like the big bad monster of D&D.
granted
And it's way too underpowered.
it was
Anybody-
also Matt, so
Yeah, but at the same time, like
not even Matt should be able to take that thing on in his own.
Oh, I did 100%.
But you shouldn't be able to.
It's supposed to be, it's a CR30 creature that has no special abilities. Its worst thing is it can swallow you. Well, congratulations.
I can now lightning strike you from the inside
It's
out.
pretty much a giant chicken.
But if it's
And if you're a clay
when you
golem,
say
can go
what
in
is the
its gut and
strongest
be
monster in
immortal.
D&D,
Yeah.
Google comes up Tarask. No, there are a lot more annoying teleporting things that can kill a Tarask. But no, it was basically me and him just killed it. In
I
3
was
turns.
sitting there just
So-
distracting it.
What would you do different about it?
I'd say bring back some of its old stuff, like that. I'm not too familiar with it, but like that one like magic denial field that it
Like
had.
an anti-magic?
Yeah, anti-magic
Or,
field.
Ooh.
that'd be cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
because
that'd be
like, right
pretty
now
cool.
it has like some kind of reflective properties, right?
No.
No, as
You-
They don't
You
have
guys
that
are
at all?
remembering the thing you put in front of the gateway that was supposed to be like a defender, not the Tarask itself.
I thought the Tarask itself had some kind of
The
magic.
Tarask
reflective-
itself
The
is for
Tarask
I
doesn't
think,
really
I think
have
it's like
magic.
if it eats a magic item, it takes its magical properties away or something.
That could be. But aside from, that, it's basically just a giant
It
creature.
just has health. That's the only thing it has
Yeah.
going for it.
It can bite and tail attack.
I mean,
Yeah,
it can
can't
attack you
fly,
from
so
like.
everybody
like,
says you
it's-
want to
it's
fly
just
up
a-
and just shoot it from above and then you win.
It also only has
It's
40
just
feet
a
of movement.
It's
Pretty
just
slow
a
for a lot of level 20
huge freaking
characters.
tank. Pretty much.
But
The one thing we learned about it was it swallowed a Balrog or a Baylor. It has no
think
fire damage.
I think it
Mhm.
swallowed either a Baylor or a Pit Fiend.
But remember, a big Nova Fire Burst took no damage from that. That was
Oh yeah.
also stupid.
All right, Matt, what do you say?
So in the very back of the monster manual, it has about, I think, 3 pages worth of just like generic people. Like if you want to fight against a gladiator or something.
Oh, yeah.
I would very much like to see named heroes in the back of the book that you can pick from that actually have like stat lines, abilities that you can put as a boss or fight something. Because 99% of the time, you're just going to homebrew it or you're going to make a character to that level because that's not an option.
I could totally see that. Or maybe make like a table where you have like several classes of types of people and then like maybe a narrow window of levels that they
Well, they can
be.
have, 100%.
And give it a quick table and then like a quick list of random names. Be like, this guy's level 3 fighter. Bam, here's some stats.
Because realistically, when you're talking about making a big bad evil guy for a campaign, once you go through like 2 or 3 campaigns, you're homebrewing the end guy because people have already used a lich, people have already used the big bad demons, people have already used angels. It's boring now, so you have to come up with something else to make it better. If they had a list of like named people at the end, like heroes in this world or villains, whatever, I don't care, you would at least have more options for a level or a 20 CR or a big bad evil guy. That's not. There's a lich. That's fine.
Yeah, and that is a good idea because if they were putting it in there, they could even it out with the CR rating. Where if you're home brewing, you don't know if you're going way under power or way over power. You know, you might TPK the party too quick, or they just walk straight over you, which happens with the regular.
It would be
CRs
really
too,
cool if
so.
they like chose like heroes from mythology, like they could bring in King Arthur and put it in there.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Give
I
him,
mean,
like special magic items and stuff, like
Yeah.
Excalibur, or you have like
Put in
Hercules.
Merlin, all of them.
Yeah,
or
Hercules.
Because like a lot
That'd
of
be
them,
cool.
they're all copyright free most
Yeah.
of the time.
you
Well,
don't even
they're
call it King
legendary,
Arthur.
so-
You can call it King Alfred for all I care, so long as you take the idea from somewhere and just throw it in there. I'll be more than happy to fight Legolas's slow cousin. That would be better than what's in there? A range. I think it's literally called a ranger, and it's a dude with a bow that has no AC and like 20 health.
Yeah, no personality.
No
either. It's
personality,
just-
No
just a-
backstory.
yeah.
You have a bow. That is your backstory. You better love that bow.
All right, Caleb, what do you say?
I'd say that we should bring in more legendary monsters from like mythology, like
Oh,
things
sticking
like
with the same point you were before.
kind of like a Baba Yaga or something. Like there's a lot of like cryptids and stuff that would be really cool to bring into D&D.
Seems like
And,
they
like-
brought in a few already.
there's,
or a
like,
whole
yeah,
bunch.
there's
You got
like the-
mummies, you got
stuff.
minotaurs.
Yeah, Chimera,
Medusa.
Griffin, Hippogriff.
But you
But,
want
like-
what? You want what? All of them?
It'd be cool to bring in other things like the Jersey Devil or something that's similar to it, or like other things like smaller legendary monsters for lower level parties. Because like it'd be nice to have like midway bosses for things.
I
that you
feel like
wouldn't
a
have to go
Wendigo
through.
could be a cool one
But
to
see,
add.
everything-
I was about to say that.
Everything you just mentioned, it comes from one mythology, Greek. There's like 80 other ones out there they could draw stuff
I
from.
mean,
You're
the
saying
Wendigo
Baba
doesn't.
Yaga, that-
Wendigo's
isn't
not
that
in the book, and
Chinese?
Wendigo's
that's Swedish,
Indian,
I
I think.
think. Oh, okay.
But they
Yeah.
could definitely pull that from that. But they chose the most well-known, and they could have chosen like anything else.
There's like Egyptian mythology that they could pull through. They can,
100%, no.
There's a lot of Chinese mythology, which would be really cool.
I would
Pick
love
some
to see
Norse
some
monsters. Like, get me a giant flying serpent up in here. Well, we kind of had that with the dreadnought. But I'm talking about a real
I
giant
think they
serpent.
cover their bases pretty well. And then, like, you know, having blank models they could just like paste stuff on would be good too. You know,
I
Just,
would
like,
love to see some Journey of the
smaller
West
monsters
stuff.
that are cooler for smaller parties to fight at a lower level.
yeah.
Because otherwise, it's like you're fighting a bunch of hordes, and that's about it. Like
They don't have a whole lot of good low CR monsters that actually have like a decent way to fight them, more like mechanics on their own. It's more like, congratulations, you either get the goblins, the kobolds, you might get a goblin leader that has a second attack. Ooh, but there's like no like good mechanically challenging CR, less than 3 or 4?
I beg to differ. I think there's some
Name
good
one.
ones.
Name one for me right now.
The Spectre.
Huh?
Spectre.
That's a 5.
But
Or wait, no.
Spectre is like a 2.
Displacer or Spectre?
Spectre.
It has one mechanic, and that's if it puts you to sleep, you're dead.
But it can go incorporeal. It can do permanent damage to players.
We'll look it up
can
later, but I
really
don't think that's a
screw
2.
with a lower level.
We'll look it up later, though. But if Bill is correct, I will congratulate him on remembering one thing today.
Sad, like
And he's actually going to look it up right now because that's who he is.
cool legendary monsters for lower levels.
They need to have, because I can't think of a single like low CR monster that's actually like good combat wise.
There's not really a cool like mid boss for low level.
1.
That's a CR1.
CR1.
Oh,
Now that's just that might be on the grounds of just broken crap that they never
But
fixed.
it's only a CR1, so if you put that up against a low-level party, it's still a boss. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
all you got to do is kind of match the CR level, and like that one character can be a boss level for a party of 1. You know, it's got damage resistance to almost every kind of like cold, fire, bludgeoning, magic. Can't
Yeah,
be hurt.
that sounds like a CR3 monster.
That sounds like, yeah, keep going.
It's got a million condition immunities.
Uh-huh,
It's got
yeah.
dark
And this is a
vision,
1?
passive
Is-
perception.
Name me a
In-
party of level 1s that has anything more than like your basic spells there, Billy.
3d6 necrotic damage.
That
and,
would kill
every
everyone.
time
Bunch
it
out of
hits,
meta,
you got to
like
do a DC
like a couple
10.
of level 10s.
See, now they messed up, right? They put a 0 next to the 1 to make it a CR10, and they just like scribbled it off at the last minute.
Just saying, yeah, get creative, man. There's some good bosses, and you guys fought that one too
But
when you were really low level.
That's a whole nother video. The CR rating system sucks.
It does. It
does.
That's a whole nother video, though.
I
But
think
No,
everyone
that
can
kind
agree
of
on that.
that kind of works in with what we're talking about is CR ratings. You know,
Just
if you want to see
balance
changes to
monsters.
monsters,
You need to
learning
change
to
the
balance
CR,
the
yeah.
monsters a little bit.
An
I feel
accurate
like-
way of CR would be really nice.
It's a little subjective though, because every party's so different. You could say
It
like,
is.
"Oh, that guy is like, you know, CR5 because he can do all this stuff," but he only has 12 hit points, and if you have something you manage to
just
land
one
it,
hit, yeah.
yeah.
you win right away. You know.
Yeah, if you crit with a battle axe, and it could kill
Yeah,
it
it depends
probably.
on whether you're attacking with magic or if you're attacking with regular weapons, or you're doing ranged weapons or straight up melee
Because
attacks.
really, I've always wanted to see more of like, I guess, a deadly system.
Mhm.
Like it would say, like this out of a total of like, say, 20 levels, this is deadly to every group that's like less than level 18. So that way you know like what this counts as a deadly encounter for everything underneath of it. And if you're over it, then it's still challenging up to a certain point. They do this for experience, which I don't think I've ever seen a single group use.
But I'll throw 15s and 18s at you guys all the time, and you just.
I mean, yes, but
do
we
just
are
fine
also
with it.
very power gamey.
But makes it really hard to balance the CR ratings. Anyway, for mine, I wanted to talk about cultures such as goblins or kobolds. I really like using those guys if you haven't noticed.
Yes. We have noticed, yes.
So, like, I don't like everybody being the same. You want to be able to use those guys and have, like, a wider range of selection within their culture. So, like, a lot of times they'll be like, here's a goblin chief. I want warriors, archers,
They did add like shamans
wizards.
and other things
Yeah.
in different books, but as far as, because you keep saying cultures, they leave that up to the player to like do the hard work. If you actually want
But
like a
then
goblin
I want the hard
culture,
work out of the way. I work a real job, so I want to
No,
come
but they want
play
you
a
to do the
game.
work,
I don't
though.
want to do that work. Just
I do-
spell it out for me, have it on one sheet of paper where I can just draw from, be like, all right,
And just
these
take it,
guys
yeah.
are level 8s and I want to fight some goblins. So, according to this, they need to run up against 24 goblins.
But
And
Billy, don't you know you can't have a
Bum.
job and play D&D at the same time? It doesn't work
Apparently
like
not.
that.
I mean, you are
Got
right.
no
They
life
did
in it.
add more diverse.
Well, what he's
variants
saying
in the
though is it
future,
should already
but
be like
yeah.
laid out in a book to where this, let's say for example, this goblin belongs to the Ook Ook clan. The Ook Ook clan has a clear laid out hierarchy, and you can like, I want to take this entire culture of this and just slap it down in a village somewhere. Boom, ready to go.
That's fair.
Instead, I take 30 little goblins, I give that one a little bit more health,
Yeah,
and he becomes the chief.
Exactly.
But
Yeah,
that's
you
not-
take all your different goblins, but you got like what, one or two varieties of
That's
up to a
different.
bugbear, and then you like he says, you take them out, and you're like, all right, these guys get a +3 on health. These guys are a little less strong. These guys are more dexterity. More dexterity.
This guy
So-
can cast spells. This one has
Yeah,
a bow.
you do all the work, like he was saying. So what I want is like, yeah, here's your magic casters, here's your archers, fighters, warriors, a couple specialty ones. And then you have like, a chief or a king, goblin king, like
'Cause they-
run
'cause
it on up.
in other games, not to make it too long, but they have like different levels of goblins, like a goblin warrior, goblin chieftain, a goblin conqueror. They don't have that in D&D. They have the regular
goblin,
goblins,
yeah.
or they have like a goblin, like I think it's called a goblin
Boss.
chief. They have two.
Boss. It's
Well, the
called the
boss,
Goblin
uh,
Boss.
And then they got the bugbear.
Bugbear.
But
Which
Bugbear's
has the
not
bugbear
goblin.
chief.
He is
No,
I
they
think-
are. They're goblinoid.
They're goblinoid, but they're not considered goblins.
There's
though.
the bugbear, the hobgoblin, and the goblin, and those are all goblinoid.
Goblinoid, okay. But still, though, so even with all those, let's say there's 6 in the book, right? And in order to build like an actual, like, realistic community of them, you need what? 20?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna do all the work for it. Yeah,
Which,
they want us to do the work.
Just make a chart on the side of the page, man. That's all I want. I love charts. You can look stuff up real quick. Here's your goblins. Bam, bam.
Bam, bam, done.
Got this. Here's 5 categories at whatever level you want them to be.
Hi, cat.
Our local druid has arrived.
I have told Bill that if his cat hits the thing we're using to record, I will declare war on it. So I would like the audience to know that.
You go, girl, aren't you? You daddy's girl. Use your go, girl.
But all right, Bill, I think we've talked enough. Take us
We're
out.
good. Hey, let us know what you think. What kind of monsters would you like to see or changes made for TPKhaos? Like and subscribe for real. Really helps.
Comment
We love
down
you.
It
below.
does.
Bye.
Love y'all subscribers.
Add more bugs.
Thank you guys for checking out today's video. We post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for more glorious D&D content. Please like, comment, subscribe, throw it all down below. We always appreciate it, and we will see you guys next week.